Hello, welcome to this live class about prepositions from CINCILINGUA. My name is Kathy, and I'll be teaching you about prepositions today. If you have any questions during this lesson, you can move your mouse around until you see the icon that says chat. When you click on it, it will open a white rectangle, and at the bottom of the white rectangle, you can type your question. When you hit enter, I will be able to see your question. And as I said, I'll be answering questions at the end of today's lesson. Okay, here are the prepositions that we'll be speaking about today. And these prepositions are all being used in a phrase in today's class. We have several different phrases that are using the preposition on strike, to do something on purpose, to pick on time, on sale, on top of things, or on top of something, short on cash. And then there's several phrases that use the prepositions to, and one that uses from. To be married to someone, to be nice to be cruel to look forward to belong to be similar to, and to be different from. Let's get started with some examples. The first phrase that we're going to talk about today is on strike. On strike means when a group of people refuse to work until the improvements are made by their employer. So in this picture, that's a typo. Let me see if I can fix it. Whoops, nope, it's not going to let me fix it. That should be SAG, SAG-AFTRA. You can see it in the picture here, SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA is a union. The name means Screen Actors Guild. That's the part that's SAG, SAG. American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. So that's the AFTRA, AFTRA part. So again, sorry for the typo. This should say SAG-AFTRA. And SAG-AFTRA is a union. Down here, a union is a group of workers who join together to have more power when negotiating with their employer or with their employers. In this photo, the union members are on strike, refusing to work. So these people that work for television or radio are unhappy about their working conditions. It could be because of their pay. It could be for many, many different reasons. And they have apparently tried to talk to their employer or their employers and ask for changes, and the changes did not happen. And so in order to try to force their employers to make changes, they all said, we want these things and we will not work until our employers come and talk to us and make some changes about these, whatever their circumstances are. So they are on strike, they are refusing to work, and they have particular changes that they would like to have happen. Often groups will strike because they want some changes for their workplace to be more safe. Other times they will strike because they think that the pay is not fair. There are many, many different reasons that a group of workers might strike. But to be on strike means that you will refuse to work until you at least get to talk about what changes you want. To do something on purpose. If you do something on purpose, it means that you do something intentionally. Intentionally. Or it means to make a deliberate choice to do something. Often in sports, players injure someone else without meaning to do so. In that case, we say they hurt someone by accident. If you are running, like these people are playing maybe soccer or rugby. Oh, I see a soccer ball in his hand. They're playing soccer. And if you bump into someone and they get hurt and you did not try to hurt them, that is by accident. Okay. Here it says, other times, however, players make a clear decision to hurt someone from the other team. The player hurt his opponent on purpose. On purpose. So this player decided, wow, this person is very close to scoring a goal. I had better stop him. And the only way that I can stop him is to maybe run into him or trip him or hurt his leg or hurt his arm. Whatever they did to hurt this person, they did it on purpose. They chose to do this. They decided to do it. Okay, the third phrase for today is to pick on. If you pick on someone, it means that you repeatedly tease or treat that, excuse me, you repeatedly tease or you treat someone unkindly. The example sentence says, Erin's classmates are all laughing and throwing wads of paper at her. If you have a wad of paper, that's a ball of paper that you make. When you wad something up, it means to use your hands to push it into the shape of a ball. So they took the paper and they crumpled the paper and they used their hands to push on the paper until it was a wad of paper, a ball of paper. So Erin's classmates are all laughing and throwing wads of paper at her. It is so unkind of them to pick on her that way. They are picking on her. So they are laughing. They are not laughing with her. She doesn't think it is funny. If everyone in the picture is laughing and everyone think it is funny and everyone is enjoying the joke, then it is not picking on someone. It is picking on someone when you are doing something that the other person does not like, and when you are doing something that is unkind, well, it makes them feel unhappy. And so you can see that her head is down. She has her arms crossed. Her eyes are not looking at any of these other children. She is not smiling. She looks unhappy. And the other children are smiling, laughing, throwing things. They are having a fun time. She is not. That is because they are picking on her. Okay, so the next example, the next phrase that we have is to be on time. To be on time means to do something just when you should. To be punctual. In the USA, most people feel it is important to be on time. You should be on time to work, church, and when you agree to meet a family member or a friend. If you agree to meet at 2 o'clock, then you are expected to try very hard to arrive at 2 o'clock, or maybe even before 2 o'clock. It would be considered rude to arrive at 2:30 unless you have a very good reason for being late. So if you are on time, if I say I will meet you at 2 o'clock and I am on time, I would arrive maybe 1:55 and I have 5 minutes more before 2 o'clock. Or if I tell you I will meet you at 2 o'clock and I arrive at 2 o'clock, then I am on time. And not very much longer after 2 o'clock, then I will be considered to be late. Okay. The next phrase that we have is on sale. On sale has two meanings. The second meaning is the very, very most common, but I wanted to tell you the first one also. On sale can mean to offer something for purchase. but most of the time it has the second meaning, to offer for purchase at a reduced price. So let's see an example of the first meaning, that you're just allowing people to buy something. So after years of research, the newest version of the computer is on sale. It is available in stores and is very popular. No one seems to want the older version of the computer, so the older model is on sale for a lower price than usual. So the first sentence that says, after years of research, people have been waiting. They want this newest computer. It is finally on sale, meaning it is finally, sometimes we might say for sale. It is finally for sale. If something is for sale, it means that it is available and you can buy it. Most of the time when we say on sale, everybody wants this new computer, so nobody really wants the old computers. If the store has not sold all of the older versions of the computers, the store would want to try to sell those. And the way that they can sell something that is not very, very popular is to reduce the price. And so they would be selling the older version of the computers for a very inexpensive price and hope that people will buy the older ones, not because they're new and exciting, but because they are on sale. They are available at a lower price, at a reduced price. Okay, to be on top of things. To be on top of things means that you are fully in control of a situation and you're able to react quickly if anything changes. Here's the example sentence. It can be very complicated to organize a large fundraiser. The volunteers are trying to raise money and collect donations to help the flood victims. Their leader is doing a great job. She is on top of things. So let's talk about some of the vocabulary in this sentence. It can be very complicated to organize a large fundraiser. A fundraiser is when you try to raise funds, or raise, what funds means is money here. You're trying to raise some money that you can spend. In this case, these people that are wearing the shirts that say volunteer, the money that they are trying to raise, they will use that money to help the flood victims. The flood victims are people, a victim is someone that was hurt by someone or something. Excuse me. So the flood victims are people whose homes, whose property, maybe even someone in their family was hurt when there was a flood. And flood means when there is a large amount of water. Usually there is a river or a lake or a pond, and it is usually the level of that water is low. But after a lot of rain, then the level of that river or the pond or the lake can get very high, and the water goes to places that it does not usually go. And sometimes when there is a flood, when there is so much water, an unusually high amount of water, then that water could go into someone's house. It can go into their car. It can carry many, many things away. And when the water leaves, after the rain is finished and the water starts to get lower and lower and lower, the flood leaves behind all kinds of things that the water was carrying. And the flood can leave behind mud inside people's houses. It can leave their houses damp, which means that the water that was in the house made the walls and the floors wet. And because the sun does not shine on the inside of the house very easily, the walls and the floors continue to stay wet or damp, and that can cause damage to the walls and to the floors. And so these people are raising money for the flood victims. And the example is saying that there are so many different volunteers and so many different activities that need to be done. Their leader has to be very organized. And this leader is on top of things. This leader is organized. This leader is in control. This leader communicates well so that all of the volunteers know what to do. It is an organized, well-run group of people, and so the leader is on top of things. So now this is a different meaning of on top of. If I would say on, well, let me read the example. Okay, what a terrible day. I am so late for work. My dog ran away this morning. Now, on top of that, I have a flat tire in my car. And so if we look up here, it says, in addition to the bad thing or the bad things that has already happened. So this person is saying, I am late for work. My dog ran away. And now, in addition to being late, in addition to having my dog run away, now on top of that, I have a flat tire in my car. So here is another bad thing that happened. Okay. Then later in the same day, the person said, when I finally arrived at work, I broke my glasses and lost my purse. So two more bad things that happened. On top of everything else, it is raining and I forgot my umbrella. So we can say on top of that, we can say on top of everything else. So I told you some information, and on top of that information, or we just say on top of that, here are these bad things that happen, and on top of that, I have a flat tire on my car, so I cannot drive my car. Or I can say on top of everything else. So the person was late for work. Their dog ran away. They have a flat tire in their car. They broke their glasses and lost their purse. And on top of everything else, on top of all of those things, on top of everything that I just named, on top of everything, now the person said, it is raining and I forgot my umbrella. So this person is having a very bad day. So up here it says on top of, and then there is a blank. You can put on top of that, on top of everything else, on top of what happened this morning. Now something bad is happening this afternoon. But this kind of on top of is not the same as if I say, oh, yes, the book that you were looking for is on top of the table. If something is on top of the table, that just means that I placed the book on the table, and the top is the part that's up the highest. Maybe you put something on top of your refrigerator and you cannot see it very easily because it is up high. Where is whatever it is that you're looking for? Oh, that item is on top of the refrigerator. This is a different meaning for on top of. This is saying I'm adding more and more things. I'm making a big list of all of the things that went wrong. And now on top of that whole list, I'm going to add more things that are going bad. So that's the meaning of on top of. Okay, to be short on. You can be short on a lot of things. Most often we say to be short on cash or to be short on time. If you are short on something, it means to not have enough of something. So what do you think if someone is short on cash? It means they do not have enough cash. Do you know this word cash? Cash is a word for money where you are not using a credit card, you are not using a debit card, you are not writing a check. Cash is money where you are paying with coins or you are paying with paper money, with dollars. So if you're short on cash, you do not have enough money for what you need money for. If you are short on time, you do not have enough time. You can be short on other things, but as I said, cash and time are the two most common things that we use with the phrase to be short on. Let's see an example sentence. It says, I need to ride my bike as quickly as possible to get to work on time. I don't have enough money to pay for a bus ticket. Work will begin soon, and it takes me a while to ride to work. I am short on money and short on time. So this person said that they do not have enough money to ride the bus, so that means they are short on cash. I don't know about in your country, in the United States, if you are riding a bus that goes inside of the city, if you are in Cincinnati, that's where CINCILINGUA is. If you are in Cincinnati and you ride the bus and you stay inside of Cincinnati, the bus is not very expensive to ride the bus from one area of Cincinnati to the other area of Cincinnati. Maybe it is close to $2, maybe $3, depending on how far you go. If you ride a bus from Cincinnati to a city that is far away from Cincinnati, then it is more expensive. But this person, we would guess that he lives in the same city where he is going to work. So if he does not have $2 to ride a bus, then he really is short on cash. Now, he's also saying it takes him a long time to ride his bike from his house to get to work, and it takes a while, and so he is short on time. He does not have enough time to do all of the riding on the bike that he needs to do. Did you notice that we used this phrase on time to do something at the exact time that you were supposed to? He is supposed to arrive at work at the time that his work begins. He's not supposed to be there 30 minutes later or an hour later. His employer, his boss, expects him to come on time. Okay. The next phrase that we have is to be married to. To be married to someone. If you are married to someone, then you are in a legal, official relationship with someone. The verbs to marry and to be married to usually mean the same thing. This person that is the bride, the woman, she can be saying, I am going to marry John. I can't wait to be married to John. So if the woman is getting married to John, if she's going to marry John or be married to John, both of those mean the same thing. And so we can, in these sentences, I am going to marry John. I can't wait to be married to John. To put the to at the end is not absolutely necessary. If we say I am going to marry John, we say that in the present. Well, this is the future tense, but the marry part is in the present tense. Here, to be married to, the ed is added here to show it's in the past tense. I can't wait to be married to him. But there is another time that you can use to marry, and it means something different than to be married to. Okay. Sometimes the phrases have different meanings. The priest married John and Sarah. John is now married to Sarah. So the priest, the pastor, the person here that is in charge of the wedding, he married John and Sarah. This does not mean that this person that is wearing the robes is now in a legal official relationship with John and with Sarah. It just means that he was the person that helped them to have their celebration. He helped them to have their ceremony, and he spoke the words that made it official for John and Sarah to be married to each other. So when we say that the priest or the pastor or the rabbi married someone, in that case, the official person in charge of the wedding married someone. That person is not not joining the legal official relationship. They are just doing the job of running the ceremony. And so if we use this to at the end, then definitely we are talking about this man and this woman being married to one another. If we have the to, we know we are talking about these people. We know we are not including the person that is in charge of the wedding. Sorry, I think that came out a little bit confusing. All right. So the next two that we have, I put on the same slide. To be nice to. To be nice to someone is to act kindly toward them. It is the opposite of to be cruel to. You are cruel to someone, that means to treat them badly or maybe even violently. So to be nice to and to be cruel to, both of those are opposite from one another. Sophia tries hard to always, there's another typo. Sophia tries hard to always, let's take away this to there. Sophia tries hard to always be nice to her cat. Sophia is nice to her cat. Sophia will not allow anyone to be cruel to her cat. So because she is kind to her cat, she is nice to her cat. She only does things that the cat will enjoy and that will help keep the cat healthy. She will not allow anyone to be cruel to her cat. She will not allow anyone to treat her cat unkindly. She will not allow anyone to do anything violent to her cat. Sorry about the typos today. All right. Before we do the next example, I wanted to make sure that you understand this word forward. Forward. The children are bending forward. Hear these children? They're bending their bodies in front of themselves. They are bending forward. And then the next sentence says, he is looking forward. So this person is looking in front of himself. He's looking forward. In this example, it says the woman is bending backward. So she is leaning so that she is going toward her back is the opposite of forward. She's bending backward. And then this person says she is looking backward. So forward means toward the front of your body, where your face is. Backward means the opposite direction, going toward the direction where your back is. So we have this word forward, and like I said, he is looking forward, this direction where his face is. His eyes are looking this way. Her eyes are looking toward the area where her back is. The next phrase that we're going to use uses the word forward, but it has a slightly different meaning. Let's see the example. To look forward to. To look forward to means to express something with pleasure. To be happy that something is going to happen. We are looking forward to our vacation. So this does not mean that their faces are turned to the direction of the front of their body instead of looking over their shoulder toward the back. It doesn't mean that their eyes are looking at something. When you look forward to something, it means that you are thinking about the future. And when you are thinking about the future, you are happy about something that will happen soon. And so you're expressing something. You're talking about how you feel pleasure or happiness about it. I look forward to our vacation. I'm excited about the vacation. I think the vacation will be fun and wonderful. So I am looking forward to it. Does not mean that their eyes are looking in this direction and that the vacation is in front of them. But it does kind of mean when you see this arrow, it makes you think a little bit about the future. So in his brain, maybe he is thinking about something, and what he is thinking about is something in his future. That could mean that he is looking forward. But again, when we say looking forward, we do not mean with your eyes. Okay. To belong to. To belong to can mean to be the property of a person, or maybe even the property of a group or a family. Or to belong to can mean to be a member of a group, a class, or an organization. Let's see some examples here of number 1. To be the property of. This is my helicopter toy. It belongs to me. So this girl is talking and she says, this toy, this helicopter, this is my helicopter toy. It is the property of the girl that is talking. It belongs to the girl that was talking. So she says, this is my helicopter toy. It belongs to me. And she's got her hand trying to spin it around and around. Now this girl is going to tell you about the person next to her. Those are her blocks. They belong to her. These blocks belong to the girl that is playing with them. They are the property of that girl. Okay, the second kind of belong to means that you are a member of a group or a class or an organization. This says many countries belong to the United Nations. So that does not mean that the countries are the property of the United States, not United Nations. It just means that the United Nations is an organization, and there are many countries that are members of that organization called the United Nations. And you can see so many flags outside of the United Nations, because there really are many countries that are part of that organization. Okay, now the last 2 examples, I put them together and you're going to see why in just a minute. To be similar to. To be similar to means to be alike, to have characteristics in common. That's a long word to say. Characteristics. If you have characteristics in common, then there are things that are the same. The girl on the right is similar to the girl on the left. They have things that are the same. They are both wearing skirts and have hats and skateboards. So both of these girls are wearing a skirt. Both of these girls are wearing a hat. Both of these girls have a skateboard. Those things about them are the same. They have hats that are alike. They have skateboards. That is something that is the same. They both have on skirts. They are not identical. Their hats do not match each other exactly, but they are similar. In the same way, their skateboards are not exactly the same. One is red, one is yellow, but they are similar. They have characteristics that are the same. They are the same shape. They both have wheels. They are alike. Now here is the same picture of the girls, but this time we're going to talk about to be different from. So we said to be similar to. You can see at the end, it has to, T-O, and this one says to be different from. To be different from. If you are different from, then it's to be dissimilar. To be not alike or not the same. The girl on the right is different from the girl on the left. Their hats and skateboards are different colors. One girl has a blue hat, one girl has a pink hat. Their skateboards are different colors. One is red, one is yellow. One girl has a gray shirt and a green skirt. The other girl has a green shirt and a gray skirt. So they are similar to each other, but they are also different from one another. And that brings us to the end of this live class. We're running low on time. I'll just read these over, and if you need to review any of them, you're welcome to go to the Library of CINCILINGUA and find the video to watch it a second time. Our prepositions from today are on strike, to do something on purpose, to pick on time, on sale, on top of things, on top of everything, or on top of that, short on cash or short on time, to be married to someone, to be nice to be cruel to look forward to belong to be similar to, or to be different from. Thank you so much for joining me for this live class about prepositions, and I hope that you can be part of the next live class from CINCILINGUA. Thank you so much for joining me.